Let's continue our discussion on shareholders' equity. Let's now proceed to part 2, retained earnings. Let's use AT account. Retained earnings, because this is an equity account, normal balance niya is a credit. Beginning balance, makakapag-increase retained earnings is net income. That's why ang entry for net income is debit income summary, credit retained earnings. And obviously, kapag net loss, decrease naman yan to retained earnings. Okay? What else? Plus minus prior period errors. And plus minus change in accounting policy. For prior period errors and change in accounting policy, meron tayong separate discussion. So wag niyo munang isipin masyado ngayon yan. And plus minus yan because pwede yung increase or decrease in retained earnings. Sir, ano naman makakapag-decrease sa retained earnings? Dividends. Because entry for dividend, debit retained earnings, credit dividends payable. Actually, ibang tawag sa dividends is distributed earnings, okay, or income. Ito yung dinistribute natin na earnings or income to the shareholders, right? Now, yung hindi dinistribute, ang tawag natin doon, retained earnings. Yung ni-retain or kinip natin na earnings sa corporation, okay? And then we get the ending balance. Alright, now, let's focus on dividends. Na-discussan natin yan under investments, pero just quick recall lang. For dividends, we have 3 relevant dates. Date of declaration. At this date, dyan mag-authorize yung board of directors na may i-declare and ibabayaran na dividends. Next is date of record. At this date, lahat ng naka-record or naka-register na shareholders, sila yung magiging entitled to dividends. And as I mentioned earlier, ang entitled dyan yung mga outstanding shares. Paano ba computing yung outstanding shares? Issued plus subscribed minus treasury shares, you get the outstanding shares. Okay? So, wag mo kalimutan, class, na isama yung subscribe. Kahit nakasubscribe pa lang, kahit hindi pa fully paid, entitled to dividends yan. So, remember that. Marami nagkakamali dyan. Again, outstanding shares, sila yung makaka-receive ng dividends. Paano yung formula? Issued plus subscribe minus treasury, you get the outstanding shares. Okay? And last date is date of payment. This is the actual payment or distribution to the shareholders. Now, let's discuss 4 types of dividends. First one is cash dividends. Cash dividends, this is the most common. Okay? And usually, class, expressed yan on a per share basis. For example, 100 pesos per share yung dividends natin. Multiply natin yun sa outstanding number of shares, yun yung magiging total dividends. Entry for cash dividends upon declaration, okay? Debit RE, credit cash dividends payable. And cash dividends payable, take note that this is presented as current liability. Pag binayaran na natin, debit cash dividends payable at the date of payment, credit cash. O, ganun lang siya. So, meron tayong entry, date of declaration, and date of payment. So, gawin natin, class, for each type of dividend, diretso sagot tayo sa handouts natin, okay? Let's proceed to illustrative example number 7. Tingnan natin, class, kung paano yung cash dividends. Illustrative example number 7, prepare the journal entries to record the above transactions. On April 1, the board of directors of Pinnacle declared 50 peso dividends per share. So, yun yung, kaya sinabi ko dyan, per share basis yung dividend. So, meron tayo, 50 pesos. Kailangan natin mo-compute yung outstanding number of shares. Okay, to shareholders of record as of April 15 and distribution May 1. So, yung April 1, date of declaration, April 15, date of record, May 1 is date of payment. The shareholders' equity of Pinnacle is as follows. Share capital, 800,000 and then nakalagay dyan 100 yung par value. So, ibig sabihin, class, 800,000 divided by 100, 8,000 yun yung issued shares. Okay, issued 8,000 shares. Okay, so add natin yung subscribed. So, punta ka dun sa subscribe share capital, 220,000. I-divide natin yung by 100, you get 2,200 subscribe shares. Okay? And, ima-minus natin yung treasury shares. So, share premium, retained earnings, you go to treasury shares. 144,000, alam natin, cost method yan. So, 144,000 divided by 120, treasury shares natin, 1,200. Okay? And then, we get the outstanding number of shares, 8,000 plus 22, minus 1,2, that is 9,000 shares. Multiply natin sa dividends per share of 50, 9,000 times 50, you get 450,000. Okay, ito yung total dividends natin. Entry on April 1, 2025, debit retained earnings, credit cash dividends payable, 450,000. So pag nag-declare ka ng dividends, bawas yung RE mo. And then meron ka liability. Okay? Date of record, which is April 15, 2025. Again, wala kang entry dyan. No entry sa date of record. Okay? Dalawa lang. Declaration and payment lang. So date of payment, April or May 1, okay, 2025. Debit cash, dividends payable, credit cash, 450,000. Okay? So that's how you do cash dividends. All right, now, let's go to the second type of dividends. There are instances na walang sufficient cash ang isang corporation to pay cash dividends. So, pwede siyang mag-resort to property dividends. Okay? So, basically, pag property dividends, non-cash asset yung i-distribute na dividends to the shareholders. Non-cash assets. So, basically, pwede siyang current assets or non-current assets. Ano examples ng current assets na pwedeng i-declare as dividends? Well, pwedeng, for example, FVPL. Pwede yan. Ano pa? Inventory. Pwede din yan. Ano naman yung examples of non-cash assets? Well, pwedeng FVOCI. Okay, ano pa? Pwedeng amortized cost, pwedeng PPE, and so on and so forth. Alright? Sir, bakit hindi walay mo pa? Pag current asset and non-current assets. Kasi meron tayong special treatment kapag non-current asset. Okay? So now, paano yung journal entry natin kapag nag-declare tayo ng property dividends? Actually, class, ang susundin natin dito is IFRIC 17. Okay, FYI, IFRIC 17. Ganito yung journal entry dyan, class. Journal entry is debit retained earnings, kasi lagi naman debit RE kapag may dividends ka. Credit property dividends payable, PDP na lang. Property dividends payable, which is a current liability, okay, at fair value yan, of the non-cash asset, at fair value lagi. And according to IFRIC 17, sabi dun, class, yung entry na yan, yung property dividends payable natin, again, at fair value yan, ima-mark to market mo siya at date of declaration, year end, and date of payment. No? Sulat mo muna, kasi later, i-apply natin yan. Okay? Ito yung first entry mo. No? Now, kapag ang dinistribute class is non-cash asset, meron ka pang isang entry. Okay? Kapag current asset, yan lang yung entry mo. Kapag non-current asset, ang i-distribute as dividends, meron ka pang isang entry. Debit, non-current asset, held for distribution to owners, na mahaba. And then, kay-credit mo yung, for example, PPE yung dinistribute. Or dineclare, credit PPE. Okay? Basically, class, ang nangyayari dyan, sir, bakit ganyan yung entry? Non-current asset held for distribution. Di-distribute mo as dividends to owners. Pag sinabing owners, shareholders. So, non-current asset held for distribution to owners. So, sinorten ko na lang. Sir, para saan yan? Basically, class, to reclassify yung PPE or yung non-current asset. Because i-distribute mo na yan to the shareholders, kailangan current na yan. So, ito, presented yan as current asset. Nakuha nyo ba? So, may reclassification tayo. Okay? This is according to PFRS 5. Meron tayong separate discussion for PFRS 5. So, i-expound it na yan next time. Pero tandaan mo, kapag non-current asset, may reclassification ka. Okay? And according to PFRS 5, yung non-current asset held for distribution to owners, i-measure mo siya at carrying amount or cost or fair value less cost to distribute, okay, whichever is lower. So, sulat mo muna kasi, again, meron tayong separate discussion sa PFRS 5. Alright? So, ulitin ko lang, class. Property dividends, tuwing kailan meron yan, sir? Pag walang sufficient cash yung corporation. Pag current asset distribute, walang problema. Ito lang yung entry mo. Yung fair value mo siya, date of declaration, year-end, and actual payment. Kapag non-current asset yung i-distribute, dun tayo may isa pang entry. I-reclassify mo, for example, PPE, to non-current asset held for distribution to owners, which is presented as current asset. Hindi siya non-current kasi i-distribute mo na. Current na siya. And measure mo siya sa carrying amount or fair value cost to distribute, whichever is lower. Okay, so para mas malinaw, punta tayo dun sa illustrative example number 8. This is about property dividends. Pakita ko yung entries para mas malinaw sa inyo. Okay, so prepare the journal entries. On July 1, 2025, Mr. Accounting Corp declared as property dividends 10,000 shares held as investment associate. O, alam natin yung investment associate or IIA is an example of non-current asset. Okay? With carrying amount of 1 million. Information on fair values is shown below. So, binigyan ka ng July 1, which is date of declaration, December 31, and Feb 1. So, yun yung date of declaration, year-end, and payment. Okay? And then, the property dividends are distributed on Feb 1. Ganito class ang entry ko dyan. So, July 1, 2025, meron tayong debit retained earnings, credit property dividends payable, sabi ko class, at fair value. Ano yung fair value in July 1? 800,000. Right? And then, don't forget na since yung i-distribute natin is a non-current asset, meron ka pang isang entry. Okay, so ang gagawin ko dyan, debit non-current asset held for distribution to owners. How much yan? So, at fair value yan. Okay? 800,000. Kasi nakalagay, carrying amount or fair value, wala naman tayong cost to distribute na minention, whichever is lower. Ano yung carrying amount? Nakalagay dyan class, 1 million. Tama? Fair value is 800. Mas mababa yung 800. Alright? Credit investment in associate. Carrying amount niya is 1 million. Balancing figure natin, impairment loss. Debit impairment loss, 200,000. Nakuha niyan? So, anong nangyari dito? Carrying amount na 1 million versus fair value of 800,000, whichever is lower, 800,000 pinili natin. I-recognize mo kasi may reclassification, balancing figure, impairment loss. Next entry, year-end, December 31, 2025. Kailangan i-mark to market mo yung first entry mo na yan. Okay? Tama ba class? From 800,000 naging 1.1 million, tumaas ng 300,000. Debit retained earnings, credit property dividends payable, tumaas ng 300,000. Okay? And, i-remeasure mo yan at fair value. Okay? So, from 800, naging 1.1 million. So, tumaas ng 300,000. Kaya lang, ang pwede mo lang i-reverse na gain is up to the extent of your impairment loss. Nakuha mo yan? Bawal kang sumobra sa impairment loss. So, ang entry ko dito, class, is debit non-current asset held for distribution to owners. Credit gain on reversal of impairment loss, 200,000. Hindi pwedeng 300 kasi sobra sa impairment loss mo. Kailangan conservative tayo, right? And date of payment, January or Feb 1 pala, Feb 1, 2026. I-mark to market ulit natin. Tama ba class? From 1.1 million, naging 950,000. 1.1 million minus 950, bumaba ng 150,000. Debit property dividends payable, credit RE, 150,000. And then, i-distribute na natin. Debit property dividends payable, 950,000. Okay? Credit non-current asset held for distribution to owners. So, currently, as of December 31, 1.1 million. How much yan? 800 plus 200, 1 million na. 1 million. And then, debit loss on distribution, 50,000. Okay? So, yun yung mga journal entries natin. Alright? Applicable lang yan. Ito, yung reclassification kapag non-current asset. Kapag current asset, ito lang yung entry mo, RE. Okay? Yan lang yung magiging entry mo. Okay? So, pakita lang ako sa inyo, class. Pag tinanong how much yung net effect sa retained earnings, so, pakita ko sa inyo. Yung RE natin, pag minonitor natin yung entries, may debit ka na 800. Okay? What else? Meron kang debit na 300. And then, meron kang credit na 150. Right? And then, may loss on distribution ka dito. Ipasok mo na rin sa RE yan. Okay? So, 50,000. Mako-compute mo dyan, class, 800,000 plus 300,000 plus 50 minus 150, that is 1 million. Yung 1 million net effect to RE, okay, is basically equal dun sa carrying amount of your non-current asset, which is your IAA. Okay? Kung ano yung carrying amount nun, yun yung net effect sa RE. Yun yung shortcut. Okay? Pag tinanong, how much yung net effect sa RE? Dun sa property dividends, after all the transactions, sagot mo lang dyan yung carrying amount nung yung non-cash asset mo. Alright? So, FYI na lang. Anyway, so that's for illustrative example number 8. Punta tayo, class, dun sa main problem number 7. Okay? Main problem number 7. So, basically, meron din tayo ditong property dividends. Okay? So, medyo related siya. So, let's see. Main problem number 7, the company should report total shareholders' equity on December 31 as how much? Okay, so let's read the given. Agnes Company's stockholders' equity as of December 31 were as follows. Meron tayong common stock, we have APIC or share premium, and we have retained earnings. So again, kapag ganyan, class, tanong sa'yo is total shareholders' equity, ang key dito is to know the journal entries. Pero para sa bilis, T accounts yung gagamitin natin. So nakalagay dyan class, merong common stock, 1.5 million, lagay natin yan sa credit. We have APIC or share premium, which is 3 million. And then meron din tayong RE na 2 million. Alright? RE 2 million. Okay, so let's read the other information. The following transactions and other information relate to stockholders' equity. Bullet number 1. It had 400,000 authorized shares of 5 common stock, yun yung par value, of which 300,000 shares were issued and outstanding. So yung 300,000 times 5, that's 1.5 million. Yun yan. Doon siya galing. Okay? So okay na yan. Na-consider natin yan. Number 2. On March 5, 2022, it acquired 50,000 shares of its common stock for 10 pesos per share. Tama ba class? Treasury shares yan? 50,000 times 10 is 500,000. Okay, the shares were originally issued 15. The company uses the cost method. Yun lang naman yung method for treasury shares. Cost method. So, lalagay ko dito, meron tayong treasury shares, 50,000 times 10, that's 500,000. Siyempre, sa debit side mo lalagay yan. Let's go to bullet number 3. On July 15, it declared and distributed a property dividend, okay, of inventory. And then, the inventory had a 750,000 carrying value and a 600,000 fair market value. Okay? So, yun yung bullet number 3. So, gagawin ko dyan, class, kasi pag ganyan, medyo complicated, nga property dividend. Entryhan natin, saka mo i-post na sa T-accounts. Okay? So, debit, retained earnings, credit, property dividends payable, you have, how much yan? 600,000. Tama? And then, mag-impairment loss tayo dito. Kasi from 750, naging 600. Debit impairment loss, credit inventory, 150,000. Right? So, ano yung effect niyan? RE, nag-debit tayo ng 600. And then, yung property dividends payable, huwag natin i-consider yan kasi it's a liability. Meron tayong impairment loss, ipasok mo na rin sa RE yan, 150,000. Okay. Next is bullet number 4. On January 2, it granted stock options to employees. Actually, meron tayong separate session for stock options. Pero sagutin na rin natin yan. To purchase 20,000 shares of the company's stock at 20 pesos per share. Okay, so encircle mo yung 20 pesos. Yun yung babayaran ng employee para makabili sila ng shares na 20,000 shares, which is the market price. The options may be exercised within 3-year period. The measurement date, okay? On October 1, employees exercised all 20,000 options with the market value was 25. So, ganito gagawin ko dyan, class. Again, kapag medyo complicated yung transaction, pwede ka mag-journalize at saka mo i-post sa T-account para sigurado tayo dun sa effect sa shareholders' equity. Okay? So, gagawin ko dyan, for bullet number 4, in-exercise yung 20,000. So, take note tayo yung makaka-receive ng cash kasi tayo yung issuer. Tama? So, 20,000, how much ulit? 20 pesos per share. So, 20,000 times 20, makaka-receive tayo ng 400,000 cash. Debit cash, 400,000. And mag-i-issue tayo ng shares, okay, credit common stock or ordinary shares. 20,000 yung par value natin is, according to the problem, nasan yung par value dito? Doon sa bullet number 1, 5 pesos times 5, 100,000. And then, meron tayong APIC or share premium, difference sila, 300,000. Post natin sa T-accounts natin, common stock, meron tayong 100,000. And then, APIC, meron tayong 300,000. Alright. The company's net income was 2.5 million. Alam natin, pag net income, increase yan sa RE. Lagay mo dito, 2.5 million. Okay, so let's compute for the total. 1.5 million plus 100, that's 1.6. APIC natin is 3.3 million. Let's compute the balance of retained earnings, 2 million. Plus 2.5 million, minus 600, minus 150, you get 3,750,000. And then treasury shares, meron tayong 500. Don't forget yung treasury shares, negative amount yan. So, makukompute na natin yung total shareholders' equity. 1.6 million plus 3.3 million plus 3,750,000 minus natin yung treasury shares na 500,000. Sagot ko dito, class, letter A, 8,150,000 total shareholders' equity. Okay, that's for number 7. So, siguro, ang lesson natin dito, in general, kapag shareholders equity yung kino-compute natin, T-accounts ka na lang para efficient. Pero pag hindi ka sigurado sa T-accounts mo, mag-journal entry ka muna. Saka mo ipasok sa T-accounts. Alright? So, sige. So, that's for main problem number 7. Now, let's continue yung type of dividends. We're done with... Okay, we're done with cash dividends. We're done with property dividends. Let's now go to the third one. This is share dividends or stock dividends. Share dividends. All right? Now, if you remember, yung share dividends entry natin dyan, obviously may debit tayo to retained earnings. Pero depende kung if it's small dividends or large share dividends. Okay, sir, paano pag small? Pag small class, ang rule of thumb dito, if less than 20% of outstanding shares, consider yun as small. Okay? If it's at least 20%, consider yan as large stock dividends. Alright? So again, at least ha, lagi ko dito pag large, at least 20%. Ngayon class, ang rule dito, kapag small share dividends, ang debit to your retained earnings, okay? Kasi debit mo yung RE, tama? At fair value. Alright? Kapag large dividends, at par value. Alright, so yun yung rule natin for share dividends. Okay? Napakita ko na lang para mas malinaw. Let's go to illustrative example number 9. Okay? Illustrative example number 9. Tignan natin class, yung share dividends. If it's, paano yung accounting, if it's large or small. Okay, so tingnan natin. Number 9. Requirement is prepare the journal entries. Number 1, 20% share dividend. Pag at least 20%, considered as large. Next is 10% share dividend, considered as small yan. Okay, so ganito gagawin ko dyan class. Sa illustrative example number 9. CPA Corp show the following data. Share capital, okay, 5 million and then may par value na 100. Tayo ba class? 5 million divided by 100, issued shares, 50,000. Tama, 50,000 shares. Okay, share premium, retained earnings, may market value on the date of declaration and market value on distribution. Ignore mo na yung distribution, hindi mahalaga yan. Declaration yung important sa atin. Okay, doon mo tayo sa number 1. So sabi dyan class, 20% share dividend. So ang gagawin ko dyan, 50,000 shares, yung issued, alright? Actually, dapat outstanding. Wala naman treasury shares. So ibig sabihin, issued equal siya sa outstanding. Multiply natin by, since large yan, yung situation 1 natin, i-multiply mo yan at par value. Okay? So, 50,000 times 20% times yung par value of 100, and debit to your RE is 50,000 times 0.2 times 100, you get 1 million. Right? So, entry natin, debit retained earnings, credit share dividends payable, 1 million. Okay? And take note, na-mention nga ito earlier, no? Sa part 1. Pero yung share dividends payable, equity account yan. Underline ko, marami nagkakamali dyan. Nilalagay nila sa liability. Hindi. Share dividends payable, equity. Kapag ang i-distribute mo is cash, liability yan. Cash dividends payable. Property dividends payable, liability din yan. Share dividends payable, since shares yung i-issue mo, i-distribute mo, equity account yan. Alright? So now, once sa actual payment of or distribution of share dividends, entry lang natin, debit share dividends payable, credit share capital, 1 million. So, ganyan na siya kapag large dividends. Let's go to number 2. What if naman, sir, small dividends? 10%. So, pasok siya dito sa less than 20%. So, gagawin ko dyan, outstanding number of shares, 50,000. Multiply natin by 10%. Multiply natin at fair value. Ano yung fair value? The date of declaration, 150. 50,000. Times 10% times 150, you get 750,000. Yan yung debit to your retained earnings. Debit RE, 750,000. Credit share dividends payable, Share dividends payable natin, may check yan. Ibig sabihin at par value lagi yan. Okay, so, ang gagawin ko dyan, 50,000 times 0.1 times ano yung par value dito? Par value is 100. Times 100, you have 500,000. Okay? Credit share premium from your share dividends, 250,000. Laging at par value yung share dividends payable, ha? Okay? And sa actual distribution, debit share dividends payable, credit share capital, 500,000. Ayun. Pag large dividends, at least 20% at par value. Kapag small dividends, at fair value yung debit to your retained earnings. Okay. Sige, now let's proceed to main problem number 6. Main problem number 6. This is still about, about share dividends. So, tignan natin class. Main problem number 6. What is the balance in the retained earnings account on December 31, 2021? Okay, on January 1, Regine Corporation had issued an outstanding 10,000 shares of 10 par value. Encircle mo yung 10 pesos na yan. Yan yung par value natin. And common stock and retained earnings of 1 million. So yung RE, huwag natin entryhan. Okay? P-account na lang. How much na yung balance ng RE? Meron siyang beginning balance of 1 million. During the year, the following stockholders' equity transactions were recorded. March 1. A stock dividend of 1,000 shares was declared with the market price was 26 pesos per share. The dividend was distributed on April 1. Okay, so hindi sinabi ko small or large. Compute natin. Ang basis mo dyan yung outstanding shares. Okay? Now, so 1,000 yung dineclare. Alright? How much ba ilan ba yung number of shares dito? Punta ka dun sa first sentence, 10,000. Therefore, 10% yan. Considered as small share dividends. Pag small, at fair value. Okay? So, ang gagawin ko dyan, yung debit natin to retained earnings, 1,000, multiply mo siya 26, yun yung market value at that point, you have 26,000. So, debit retained earnings, 26,000. Huwag ka na mag-journal entry, diretso post ka sa T-account. Kasi ang tanong naman sa'yo, balance sa RE. July 1, a 40% stock dividend was declared with the market price was 45 pesos per share. Alam natin, large yan kasi at least 20%. At par value naman yan. Ano ulit yung par value dito? 10 pesos. So, as of July 1, ilan na yung shares? Take note, 10,000 and then nag-issue ng 1,000, 11,000 na yan. Okay? Multiply natin by 40%, multiply natin sa par value of 10 pesos, 11,000 times 0.4 times 10, you get 44,000. Iyon yung debit to our retained earnings. Alright? And then, it suffered a net loss of 12,000. Paid no cash dividends and made no additional issue. So, net loss, pag net loss, debit sa retained earnings yan. Pag net income, credit sa retained earnings yan. Let's compute for the ending balance of RE, 1 million, minus 26,000, minus 44,000, minus 12,000, you get here 918,000. Answer, letter A, 918,000. Okay? Sige. So, ayan. And then last type of dividends. We have what you call liquidating dividends. Liquidating dividends, basically during liquidation or bankruptcy ng isang corporation. Okay? Ang rule natin, ang general rule, yung legal capital, which we studied sa Part 1, hindi mo pwedeng i-distribute yan as dividends to shareholders, except kapag liquidation na. Okay? So, kapag liquidating dividends. Now, during liquidation, again, ang priority is bayaran muna natin lahat ng creditors. After that, bayaran natin yung mga shareholders. Okay? So, preference shareholders muna and then ordinary shareholders. Alright? So, sige, apply natin yan to our illustrative example number 10. Okay, illustrative example number 10. This is about liquidating dividends. So, tingnan natin. Requirement, prepare the journal entries to record the above transactions. So, on December 31, BSA Corp declared 1 million cash dividends. So, 1 million. And as of January 15 for distribution January, since BSA is undergoing liquidation, okay, 80% of the dividends are liquidating. So, ibig sabihin class, ano ba 80% niyan? 800,000, tama? 20% iyan yung hindi liquidating, 200,000. Ibig sabihin class, yung 200,000 galing sa RE yan. Okay? Yung 800,000 galing yan sa legal capital. Okay? So, ang account na gagamitin natin is capital liquidated. Alright? So, entry natin, pakita ko sa inyo. Debit retained earnings for 200,000. Okay? Debit capital liquidated 800,000, credit Cash dividends payable, 1 million. Okay, ito yung entry natin at the date of declaration, December 31, 2025. Hindi mo i-debit yung RE na buong 1 million. Hindi. Kasi ang RE mo na lang as of this point is 200. Yung 800 daw dyan, 80% out of your capital na. Okay, liquidating dividends na yan. Sir, ano yung capital liquidated na yan? Yung capital liquidated class, tandaan mo, contra equity account yan. Contra equity. Uy, nadagdagan yung contra equity natin. Ano nga ba yung mga contra equity natin? Subscriptions receivable. Lagay ko dito. Ano pa? Treasury shares. And then, capital liquidated. Lahat yan, naka-minus yan sa shareholders equity. FYI, okay? Ngayon, upon distribution of cash, January 31, 2026, debit cash dividends payable, credit cash, 1 million. Ayun lang. Kapag liquidating dividends, yung portion na liquidating, ima-minus mo yan sa shareholders equity. Okay. So that's where illustrative example number 10. Sige. Now, let's continue our discussion on retained earnings. So far, alam na natin yung mga movements ng retained earnings, beginning balance, add net income or minus net loss, prior period errors, change in accounting policy, minus dividends, you get the ending balance. Okay, yung ending balance na yan, or yung total RE, okay, ending balance, pwede mo siyang i-categorize into two, okay, or classify into two. We call this unappropriated RE, or ibang tawag sa unappropriated is unrestricted, okay, and meron din tayong appropriated or restricted retained earnings. Okay, so dalawang klase yung retained earnings natin. Unappropriated or appropriated. So ano yung difference ng dalawa na yan? Kapag unappropriated, ibig sabihin, pwede mo siyang i-declare as dividends. Alright? Kapag appropriated, restricted, hindi mo siya pwedeng i-declare as dividends. So yun lang ibig sabihin niya. Okay, sir, bakit ba kailangan mag-appropriate? Because of the following reasons. Okay, may tatlo tayong reasons. Number one is because of legal appropriation. Ano yung example ng legal appropriation? According to the revised corporation code, kapag daw may treasury shares, yung corporation, kailangan mo mag-appropriate ng RE. Nasa batas yan. Okay? Kaya legal. Next is contractual. Ang maganda example nito, kapag nag-issue ng bonds yung company. Okay? For example, si Jollibee. Sa example natin earlier, nag-issue siya ng bonds. Tama? Now, pwedeng i-require siya sa bond indenture na, kailangan mo mag-appropriate ng RE para dun sa bonds. Kung maalala nyo, diniscuss natin sa bond sinking fund. Alala nyo yan? Okay. Now, ang reason class yan, kaya ka nag-a-appropriate ng RE para sa bonds is because of protection yan of the creditors. Okay? So, protection of the bondholders or creditors. Kasi pag ang nangyari dyan, binayaran mo ng dividends yung mga shareholders, baka wala ka ng pambayad dun sa mga bondholders. Alam natin, ang priority, creditors muna, bago shareholders. Okay? Kaya meron tayong contractual appropriation. And next is voluntary appropriation. Pag voluntary, example niyan is, again, voluntary, ibig sabihin, discretion ng corporation. Okay? For example, may business expansion. Sa illustration natin kanina, si Jollibee, mag-expand siya. Tatayo siya ng mga stores. Ayun, pwede siya mag-appropriate ng RE. What else? For working capital or yung mga everyday business expenses natin, pwede tayong mag-appropriate ng RE doon. And last one is because of contingencies. For example, meron tayong lawsuit, pending lawsuit, kinasuhan tayo. Pwede tayong mag-appropriate ng RE doon. Okay, so these are the reasons kung bakit nag-appropriate. Ang implication niyan, lahat ng appropriated RE, hindi mo pwedeng i-declare as dividends. Ang pwede mo lang i-declare as dividends, unappropriated or unrestricted retained earnings. Okay, let's go to illustrative example number 11. Pakita ko yung entry sa nyo para mas malinaw for appropriation, legal appropriation of RE. Okay? Now, requirement, prepare the journal entries to record the above transactions. So, on January 1, ABC Corporation reported the following shareholders' equity. We have share capital, 6 million. Okay? Par value is 100. Alright? Share premium, 500,000. Retained earnings is 1.8 million. Ngayon, kapag may given na retained earnings, ang assumption mo doon, kapag silent, unappropriated. Okay? Take note, kapag silent, unappropriated. Transactions during the year and other information relating to shareholders' equity were as follows. Number 1, on January 26, the entity reacquired shares, cash 5,000 shares for 110 per share. 5,000 times 110, na-compute mo ba yung 550,000? Tama ba? Nag-reacquire, so this is treasury shares. Debit treasury shares, credit cash, 550,000 at cost yan. Okay, sabi ko kanina, Kapag may treasury shares, legally required tayo dyan na mag-appropriate ng RE. Okay? So now, number 2. On April 4, the entity sold for cash 3,000 of treasury shares for 140 pesos per share. 3,000 times 140, 420,000. Debit cash, 420,000. And then mag-credit tayo ng treasury shares. Tama ba? Binili natin yung treasury shares 110 pesos. Tama? So, ang binenta natin 3,000 shares. 3,000 times 110, you get 330,000. Credit, treasury shares, 330,000. Credit share premium from treasury shares, 420 minus 330, that is 90,000. Okay, number 3. Net income for the year, 1,730,000. Debit income summary, credit retained earnings, 1,730. And then, don't forget class na mag-appropriate tayo. Nakalagay dyan, number 4, appropriated retained earnings equal to the cost of treasury shares. Actually, kahit hindi sinabi sa problem, kailangan mag-appropriate tayo. Basta may treasury shares. Kasi again, legally required tayo. Nasa revised corporation code yan. So, how much ba yung treasury shares natin? 550. Nabenta natin yung 330. 550,000 minus 330, 220,000. So, ang entry mo dyan, class, ganito yan. Debit retained earnings. Okay. Credit retained earnings appropriated, 220,000. Okay. So, debit retained earnings unappropriated. Credit retained earnings appropriated, 220,000. Parang, isipin mo, para ka nagre-reclassify. Okay? So, yung given na retained earnings sa atin sa problem na 1.8 million, nakita mo yun? Unappropriated yun pag silent eh. So, i-debit mo yun, and then credit ka ng RE appropriated, 220,000. Take note na nag-debit ka ng RE, nag-credit ka ng RE, zero net effect yan sa total RE. Tama? Zero net effect kapag total RE. Meron ka lang reclassification. Papakita mo lang na nag-appropriate tayo equal to the cost of the treasury shares. Okay? So, yung 220,000 na yan, ganito class mangyari dyan. Meron tayong RE. Tama ba? Beginning balance is 1.8 million. Tama? And then, ano pa nangyari? Meron kang 1,730,000. Tapos, nag-debit ka na 220. Okay? So, ito yung unappropriated. Compute natin yung ending balance ng unappropriated. 1.8 million plus 1,730 minus 220,000, you have 10,000. Ito lang yung pwede mong i-declare as dividends. Okay? Yung 220, pwede mong isipin na may additional kang RE dyan na appropriated na 220, hindi mo pwedeng i-declare yan as dividends. Ito lang. 10,000 lang. Okay? So that's for illustrative example number 11. Let's go to illustrative example number 12. Contractual appropriation. As a result, nasan yung contractual ito? Usually sa bonds yan. Okay? Bond sinking fund. As a result of the agreement with bondholders, XYZ Corporation is required to appropriate earnings of 200,000 at the end of each calendar year. At the beginning of 2026, upon liquidation of bond indebtedness of 1 million, the retained earnings appropriation is cancelled. Siyempre, pag nabayad mo na, pwede mo nang ibalik ulit sa unappropriated RE. Okay? Prepare all the entries. So, gagawin ko dyan, ganito class. So, upon appropriation, debit retained earnings unappropriated, credit RE appropriated. Kumbaga, reclassification siya. Ang kasunduan nila is 200,000. Number 2, binayaran na daw yung bonds payable. Debit bonds payable, credit cash, 1 million. Bayad na. Pwede natin tanggalin yung appropriation. Number 3, debit RE appropriated, credit RE unappropriated, 200,000. So basically, ni-reverse lang natin yung entry number 1 natin. So pag na-serve na yung purpose ng appropriation, ibalik mo na sa dati yung RE mo. Okay? So, ganyan lang siya. And then, let's go to number 13. This is voluntary appropriation. Just take example number 13, voluntary appropriation. Prepare the journal entries. The Board of Directors of DEF decided to embark on substantial plant expansion. To demonstrate the need to retain assets in the entity, the Board agreed on December 31 to authorize an appropriation of RE in the amount of 5 million. Okay? So, discretion to ng corporation. Debit RE unappropriated, credit RE appropriated for plant expansion. How much yan? 5 million. Number 2, the plant was partially constructed on December 31 and the board decided to reduce the appropriation. Bawasan daw natin yung appropriation by 3 million. Ano gagawin ko dyan? I-reverse ko to by 3 million. Debit RE appropriated, credit RE unappropriated, 3 million. Ayun. And then finally, July 27, the plant was completed and the remaining portion of the appropriation was removed. Na-serve na yung purpose ng appropriation, i-reverse na natin lahat. Okay? So, 5 million, na-reverse na natin yung 3 million, therefore, 2 million na lang. Debit RE appropriated, credit RE unappropriated, 2 million. Alright? So, ibig sabihin, yung buong 5 million, lahat na yan unappropriated. Pwede na natin i-declare yan as dividends because na-serve na natin yung purpose of the appropriation. Alright? Sige. So, let's move to main problem number 3. Okay, main problem number 3. About retained earnings pa rin yan. So, tingnan natin. Main problem number 3. Okay, so what is the balance of unappropriated RE? T account na din gagawin ko dyan. So, as you notice, kapag shareholders equity, T account ang ginagamit ko kapag multiple choice questions. An entity provided the following data for the year ended December 31. Okay, so, retained earnings unappropriated January 1, 200,000. Again, kapag silent ka, kahit wala nakalagay na unappropriated, if silent, assume mo na unappropriated. Beginning balance yan, 200. Okay? So, this is unappropriated. Next is over depreciation of 2020 due to prior period error. So, again, meron tayong separate discussion sa prior period error. Pero, alamin mo lang for now na merong epekto yan sa retained earnings. Tama ba, class? Kung over depreciation, tumaas yung depreciation expense, okay, overstated, mababa yung net income. Paano mo i-correct yan? Understated yung net income, taasan mo yung RE. Okay? Kasi yung net income, napupuntang RE yan eh. So, understated yung net income, kailangan, pag kinorek mo yan, itaas mo yung RE mo. So, plus 100,000. Credit mo yan. Next is, net income is 1.3 million. Again, credit yan. Retained earnings appropriated for treasury shares. Original balance is 500,000 but reduced by 200,000 by reason of pre-issuance. So, yung original na debit RE unappropriated, credit RE appropriated, original is 500,000. Okay, parang ganun. And then, ni-reduce daw by 200. Debit RE appropriated, credit RE unappropriated, 200,000. So, ibig sabihin, class, nag-credit ka ng RE unappropriated, meaning, yung item na yan, meron tayong additional 200,000. Kasi nag-credit tayo. Nakuha niyo ba yung class? So, anong nangyari? Dito sa 200,000, tumaas yung bumaba yung appropriated. Okay, ibig sabihin, tataas yung unappropriated based on this entry. Okay? Kaya ang adjustment mo dyan, credit na 200,000. Got it? Next, retained earnings appropriated. Beginning balance is 700 but increased by 100. So, tumaas yung appropriation mo. Siyempre, ibababa mo yung unappropriated RE mo. Okay? So, in that case, mag 100,000 ka naman na debit. Nakuha niyo yan? Okay. Cash dividends. So, pag dividends, debit RE, credit cash dividends payable. Therefore, meron kang 500,000 debit to your RE. Change in accounting policy from FIFO to average. Ito siya. Change in accounting policy. Next time na di-discuss yan. Credit adjustment. Obviously, pag credit adjustment, i-credit mo daw si RE. So, lagay mo dito, 150,000. Ayun. So, 200,000 plus 100,000 plus 1.3 million plus 200 plus 150 minus 100 minus 500,000. Balance of our RE, 1,350,000. Letter B. Easy. Okay. So, ayan. Ganyan siya. Okay. So, ayan. So, that's for... I think, nasagutan na natin yung... Meron pa tayong hindi nasasagutan. Let's go to main problem number 7. 7, nasagutan na yata natin. Okay, okay na tayo sa main problem number 7. Okay, so let's proceed to the theory questions na related sa retained earnings. Okay? Let's go to number 6. Cash dividends are paid on the basis of the number of shares. Alam natin, outstanding. Okay, letter C for number 6. Lahat ng outstanding shares, sila yung entitled to dividends. Let's go to, jump tayo class, to number 17. Number 17. At the date of declaration of a small ordinary share dividend, the entry should not include. Alam natin kapag small dividends at fair value yung debit sa RE mo. Okay? Letter A. A debit to retained earnings. Yes, at fair value. Letter B. A credit to share dividends payable. Yes, at par. A credit to share premium. Yes. All of these are acceptable. Kaya sa number 17, dog yung sagot mo dyan. Number 18, the peso amount of total shareholders' equity remains the same when there is, kapag nag-declare ka ng stock dividends, ano ba yung entry sa stock dividends? Lagyan natin dito. Debit RE, credit share dividends payable, credit share premium, for example, small stock dividends. Tama ba class? Lahat yan, equity account. Alright, so nag-debit ka ng equity account, lahat ng credit mo equity accounts, walang effect sa total shareholders' equity. Kaya, A yung sagot mo sa 18. Yung B, hindi yan sagot. Declaration of cash dividends, debit RE, credit cash dividends payable, okay? Meron kang bawas yung equity mo kasi liability yung cash dividends payable. Alright? So, that's why A yung sagot natin for number 18. Let's go to number 19. The declaration of a 10% stock dividend o small stock dividends, boy yan, would decrease accumulated profits. Pag accumulated profits, ibang term lang yan sa retained earnings. Retained earnings na yan. Would decrease retained earnings but would have no effect. Oh, parang yung kaninang entry natin. Wala siyang effect sa total shareholders equity. For 19, boy, yung sagot mo dyan. Number 20, at what amount per share should retained earnings be reduced for a 20% stock dividends? Tanda mo, kapag large, at least 20%. Hindi more than, at least 20%. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, par value yan, boy for number 20. Jump tayo sa number 22. When a corporation declares dividend, which is considered a return of the stockholders' original investment, ang tawag natin doon, liquidating dividends. Okay? Ito siya. Again, during liquidation, binabalik natin yung legal capital. Okay? Nire-return na natin yung original investments nila. Liquidating dividends, letter C for number 22. Number 23, the balance in the retained earnings is affected by the transfer to that of, number 1, issued share capital. Hindi, pag nag-issue ka ng capital, debit, cash, credit share capital, walang effect sa retained earnings yan. Number 2, dividends paid or provided for. Yes, nagde-debit tayo ng RE. So number 2, tama yan. Transfers to or from other reserve accounts. Actually, tama din yan. Kung naalala nyo, class, may concept tayo sa, maalala mo yung discussion natin sa investments, sa FVOCI. Di ba, kapag meron kang unrealized gain or loss OCI, alright? Kapag mandatory, kapag binenta mo siya, nagre-reclassify tayo ng unrealized gain or loss OCI to retained earnings. Naalala nyo yung with recycling na concept under investments? Naalala nyo yan? Pag nagbenta ka ng FVOCI, yung unrealized gain or loss mo, pwede mong i-recycle to RE. No, yun yung ibig sabihin ng number 3. Kaya tama din yung number 3. Number 4, changes in accounting policies and errors. Yes, tama din yan. Number 5, interest paid. Hindi, interest expense yan. Alright, so wala siyang, well, eventually, kuklose mo yun sa RE, pero hindi RE yung ginagamit mo, interest expense. So number 2, number 3, and number 4, answer mo dyan is boy for number 23. Number 24, companies that carry no insurance against insurable casualty loss sometimes use account called reserve for self-insurance. In preparing a balance sheet, this account should be reported as, ibig sabihin lang yan, this is an example of voluntary appropriation. Okay? So, ang pwede mong gamitin dyan, ginamit ng company or corporation, reserve for self-insurance. Wala daw tayong may casualty loss. So, again, pwedeng discretion ng corporation. O sige, mag-appropriate tayo ng RE para dyan. Right? So, letter A yung sagot mo for 24. Number 25, a restriction of RE is most likely to be required by purchase of treasury stock. Kasi legal requirement yan. Okay? Letter A for number 25. Number 20. Okay, number 29. Punta ka dun sa 29. Under IFRIC 17. Nasaan yung IFRIC 17 natin? Aha. IFRIC 17. Na-erase ka ba? Hindi. Ito. Okay, yung property dividends. A property dividend declared before the end of the reporting period should be recognized as liability. Yes, property dividends payable. Yun. Tama. At the end of the reporting period, sabi dyan, end of the reporting period, so December 31, at fair value. Okay, letter C. Again, at fair value yung property dividends payable natin. Letter C, fair value at the end of reporting period. Number 29 is letter C. Number 30, which of the following statements about property dividends is not true? Alin daw yung mali dito? A property dividend is also called a dividend in kind. Yes, tama yan. So, in kind is another term for property. Tama yan. B, a property dividend is usually in the form of securities of other entities. For example, investment in FVOCI, investment associate, yun yung ibig sabihin yan. Pwede rin yan. Letter C, the accounting for property dividends should be based on the carrying amount. Mali na yan. At fair value yan. Okay? And then, letter C for number 30. Mali yung letter C. Number 31, under IFRIC 17, an entity shall measure a non-current asset held for distribution to owners. Okay? Carrying amount, fair value less cost to distribute, whichever is lower. That's why answer mo dyan, letter C, lower between choices A and B for number 31. Number 32, under IFRIC 17, an entity shall measure the liability. Yung property dividends payable natin, again, kailangan mo i-measure siya at fair value. Answer mo dyan, letter A for number 32. Okay, so I think yan na lahat for retained earnings. We're done with part 2.